So we want to go back to the phone lines and welcome in Ron Ingram, the Communications Director from the AHSAA. Ron, thanks for taking time out to join us tonight.
Glad to join. How you doing, Brett?
I'm doing great, and and really blessed, like a lot of us are. And there's several people out there in this state that aren't because of the devastation and the storms. And I want to start there, Ron. I know the AHSAA right now is participating in a tornado relief fund that's going on right now.
Right. We've had the fund that we have started is to help our member schools. Of course, we're an association of 412 high schools and almost 300 junior high and middle schools. And several of those schools have suffered major damage, some probably irreversible. Hackleburg High School probably suffered the most. It just completely destroyed their whole school. It's a K through 12 school. It destroyed the school. Phil Campbell's damaged really bad. Just up the road. That F5 tornado that came through northwest Alabama. So there's a lot of other losses too. Obviously, family losses, housings, stores, places of work. And there's a lot of a loss of life. But the High School Athletic Association felt like maybe we could step in and at least maybe use this, have a catastrophic fund set up for the tornado relief to help the schools to replenish supplies, equipment, or whatever else they could use, with donations of supplies, equipment, and also cash donations.
Ron, how many total schools do y'all have a count on how many schools were affected by these storms this past week?
Well, to be honest with you, Brett, we're still gathering information. We do know that Gunnersville High School on one end of the county, Plainview High School, Hanceville High School near Coleman, Holt had some damage. So did Central Tuscaloosa in Tuscaloosa. American Christian in Tuscaloosa had some damage. Of course, Hackleburg, Phil Campbell, those are two of the major ones. It's really been a lot of different places all across the state. From going north, probably from Clanton on north, or really starting at Talca County line on over to Elmore County north. It's just been some damage for some has had minor damage, some had major damage, but more than that, it's just a situation where the schools are just and the communities, it's going to take so much of their resources just to build back the homes and the lives, that anything that we can do to help them make that better, that's what we want to do. Obviously, this has been the most devastating thing we've ever had to face as an association and really as a state when it gets right down to it, with all the people that were affected in such a quick time. And our hearts just go out for all of those out there that are in need tonight.
Well, Ron, it just seems like over the past few years, whether it be tornadoes, fire, I know Central Hayneville was destroyed by fire, their equipment room, and I know that Enterprise High School was completely destroyed a few years ago in that powerful tornado. And I know other schools have suffered either total damage or part damage through storms and stuff over the past few years. But all at once, like Wednesday, I hope we never see a day in this state or anywhere in this country again like what we saw Wednesday.
I agree with you, Brett. And one of the things that Mr. Savarese, our executive director, has decided to do with this tornado school tornado relief fund is we're going to set up some sites at our championship events that are coming up in the next few weeks, starting with track this weekend. And if folks want to donate cash contributions, they can do it on site there. Now, we're not asking them to bring equipment to these places, but if they do want to donate supplies or equipment or whatever, if they'll contact myself at the High School Athletic Association, our number is 334-263-6994. we'll be glad to talk with them. We're also finding that other state associations are stepping up to offer help. And I think one of the associations that called today was the Kentucky Athletic Association that serves at the Kentucky high schools. And, of course, Alabama was there to help the Katrina victims in other states, including Alabama, but Mississippi and Louisiana, when Mr. Washington was the executive director. He was also the president of the National Federation at that time, the Federation Board of Directors, and he really helped to, get associations behind helping those that are in need. And to be honest with you, that's just what human beings do. Our association, we serve, the Athletic Association is a service organization for member schools, but so is across the state. We're all asking ourselves, those who are fortunate enough not to suffer the kind of devastating losses that the others have suffered, are asking ourselves, what can we do? Where can we go? And we all want to help. One thing we have found out is that most of our schools have said, let's get our games back going as soon as possible. And we're particularly proud of Hackleburg. Like I said, they suffered tremendous loss last Wednesday night when the tornado at F5 came through Franklin County up in northwest Alabama. But they wanted to go play in the baseball series that, we postponed all championship play until Monday, and then we've had some that are still trying to work it in. We work it out. We had a lot of events that were scheduled that we had to move track and golf, and we're trying to just work with every school and every school's needs. But Hackleburg's teams said they wanted to go play, and the principal Johnny Harden, who's made quite a name of himself as a football and girls basketball coach. He's the principal there. And they went over to Cedar Bluff, and lo and behold, they split yesterday, and they won that series, and now they advanced to the quarterfinals this weekend in the state baseball playoffs. And of course, Cedar Bluff had a fine team, and were a tremendous host for Hackleburg for the last couple of days. But we're proud that Hackleburg's spirit, is survive, and that's what it's all about, though, Brett. It's this spirit that our kids have, the character they have, the fortitude. That's one of the life lessons that you hope you learn. I know that's one of the things I learned as a student athlete. And right now, it's just time to see if those life lessons are paying off. And I think that in some cases, it's not more than just winning games. It's about rebuilding communities and cities and schools and families. And, I hate to say it, but, I pick up the Birmingham News the last couple of days, and, I've just looked through the obituaries, and your heart just breaks to see all the April 27th listings in there. It's just, you just wonder how in the world can we survive, but we do. People do because of the love and the care that other people show for them at this time.
Ron, you're exactly right. We talked about that a little bit earlier on the program. The small ray of light, this Hackleburg baseball team gave that, completely devastated community by winning that baseball series against Cedar Bluff. And I know that's, small in the scheme of things, but, that's, resiliency for those kids to go out there and say, let's do this for our community. And again, going back to the human being aspect of things, you read those obituaries, it really makes things come to light and what's reality. And but we do find ways to move on and support each other and help each other out. And, you mentioned the relief fund that's going on with AHSAA. If you cannot get out to a Red Cross station or to a school, if you want to donate straight from your home via the computer, you can do that. You can go to AHSAA.com. There's a tab right on the main page at Disaster Relief Fund. You can click on that, and you can donate via PayPal right there with your credit card. And you click on that donate button, and you can donate whatever you feel like you want to, or you can call the numbers 334-263-6994 to give in whatever way you feel like you can. But Ron, I tell you what, again, a dark day last Wednesday, but again, seeing a lot of people come together and help each other out really kind of warms the heart and kind of makes us all feel good.
It does. We saw it back in the fall when, on a much more minor scale when Central Hayneville had their field house burned. It burned down due to a electrical short, and schools all across the state came forward to try to help them continue to compete. And Skyline High School, all the way up in northeast Alabama, which was almost in the direct line of the tornadoes that came through Jackson County and hit Pisgah. The principal there they had to shut down their football program because of the numbers, some injuries, and they got too few to play. And they had all this equipment, and he drove it all the way to Montgomery just to help Central Haynesville continue to play their games. And their communities were really far apart. Neither one probably knew where the other one was located. Central Haynesville was located in a little community called Mosses, and I can tell you most folks in Skyline don't know where that is, but then again, most folks in Mosses don't know where Skyline is, and most folks in Alabama might not. But the principal there was just so determined to try to help any way that he could, and many other schools stepped forward, anywhere from mouthpieces to tape to helmets, shoulder pads. And again, when you start talking about people needing roofs over their heads, beds, and so forth, you say, well, this is not important, but it's not so much what you give, it's why you give it, and I think that's where we're at right now. There's a lot of folks out there. It seems like those that have the least want to give what they got, and it's heartwarming to me to know that I'm an American living in this country where neighbors still take care of neighbors when they can. But boy, I tell you, we all can count our blessings, because what we went through this past week as a state and as a country, really, and President Obama said it best. He said he'd never seen anything like it, and his heart is, and the rest of the nation, the rest of the world, is praying for this state and praying for the people that are digging out of the rubble and trying to move forward. And we're going to move forward. We're going to move forward. Every community is going to move forward, but it's just going to take a long time, and there's a lot of pain and a lot of heartache that will have to be endured as we all try to help each other get through this and move on.
Ron, a lot of pieces to pick up, but a lot of people out there doing just that, and not making things easy on them right now. Mother Nature bringing some rain through the state again, and which kind of hinders a lot of cleanup efforts. But again, a lot of people banding together to do the right thing. Ron, we really appreciate you being part of the program tonight to talk about this a little bit, and we'll be keeping up with the playoffs. Have you on in the next couple of weeks to kind of recap how all these spring sports ended up.
Thanks, Brett. And one thing that I just urge everybody to do is just do what you can to help your neighbors. Do what you can. If your community was not affected, find out what you can do. My granddaughter told me last night. She says, "Papa, we're selling. We're raising money to help I think her school in Alabaster is trying to help raise money for some schools in Tuscaloosa, for kids in Tuscaloosa." She says, "We're selling bookmarks." She says, "How many do you want to buy?" And I said, she said, "Can you buy $1,000 worth?" I said, "Well, I don't know about that, but if you put me down, I'm going to buy some bookmarks." But she's 9 and she's wanting to help, and that's what it's all about.
You're exactly right, Ron. And again, heart goes out, and thoughts and prayers to all the communities that were affected. And again, good to see everybody banding together for the cause to help those who need it the most right now. Ron, thanks so much for being part of the program tonight.
And thanks for all y'all do, and thanks for having a voice that goes out across the state so that people can hear. Appreciate it, Brett.
Thank you, Ron. Appreciate you. Ron Ingram, the Communications Director at the AHSAA, the Alabama High School Athletic Association, second to none. And he's wonderful, very knowledgeable, and that AHSAA organization in Montgomery, Executive Director Steve Savarese, Wanda Gilliland, Joe Evans, the list goes on and on. Just a wonderful group of people that have the true care and love for our children, our state at heart, and that's what makes that organization so good.